Hello, welcome. We're here at the Business Startup Show on the Great British Business Show, and I'm here with a man from Saatchi and Saatchi Advertising Agency. It's Andrzej Moyseowicz. Yes?
Excellent
Can you
pronunciation.
believe that? Can you believe this was first take? Unbelievable. How are you doing, Andrzej?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
Good stuff. And what are you doing here?
Well, it's a key 2-day conference here. Great British Business Show. Tons of enthusiastic people. 30,000 people signed up, and you can feel the energy here.
Yeah, definitely.
A huge prism of optimism, which we need in economic times like this. So I'm the Media Innovation Director. It's a hybrid creative strategy role.
Yeah.
Main thing that comes out of it is how do you tell compelling stories in a lot of different ways, whether it's digital, analog, social media, it doesn't really matter. It's about bringing great brands and brand stories to life.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and you've got this thing at Saatchi, loving your brand or brand.
Yes,
brand
that's right. Love
marks.
marks.
Love marks. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about catalyzing loyalty beyond reason. So the line I always say, and it's great to say to a CEO who's not used to emotions being in the boardroom, is you say, look, do you want to be liked or loved? And it's quite a simple answer, right?
Yeah.
We want to be loved, and that's a combination of being respected and cared for and loved by people.
Do you think you can apply that to startups then? Do you think they can have that level of almost brand aspiration? Because as a small company, their brand might be not in a fully evolved state. Do you think that still applies?
I think it applies because the brand may be nascent, but normally the purpose isn't nascent. It's actually quite well evolved. And what I mean by that is the purpose, why you waking up early? Why are you staying late? How do those weekends manage? How you beg, borrow, steal the energy of others when you're trying to make an idea come to life? And that's what you feel here, and you feel amongst entrepreneurs in the startup. It's actually even more important to understand what your purpose is, because normally your purpose is what evolves to be your brand. Now it's about catalyzing through creativity, loyalty beyond reason, and that is from stories that happen within Facebook and Twitter as much as that big TV, big brand work. Yeah. It's a dynamic between those two, and that is a rich space that anyone in this conference center can do. They can get open on Facebook, they can be social there, they can be professional on LinkedIn, and they can share what they care about right now on Twitter, and that's free. It's your effort, your purpose, your time.
Exactly. And how do you see that dynamic going forward then? This idea of social media, almost rivalry with traditional media buying in terms of television and radio. How's that dynamic moving forward? How's that relationship moving forward? Can they coexist, or can one outmuscle the other?
I think the challenge for most brands and most agencies is that they try to make it coexist. It's almost like when you're at the zoo and you got the lions right next to the antelope. There's a fence there. They're coexisting. It's not really a partnership, right? Yeah. And for me, the dynamic has to be actually a collaborative. It's got to be complementary, because often you have these big ideas that can be conveyed through the power of film, through TV, through imagery, and they have to then be represented in the way we share online with our online selves. And so I see this all complementary. You have to either play or get played. I love the fact that 20% of the conversation starts with a brand, but 80% of it's carried on by the people you touch. If you're an SME, if you're a startup, the first thing you know, and you can feel, definitely if you're a CEO or an MD of a place, is you feel the weight of your employees on your shoulders. You care for them. There's normally a vested interest. And the tricky bit is your time poor. And the hardest gift to give yourself, and it's something that I recommended here today, is that the quicker you identify your purpose and your set of beliefs, and the things more importantly that you won't do rather than do in terms of your business and the story that business tells, the better. It clarifies what you need to do, and it helps you cut through the noise of the big media budgets of the bigger brands. Once you know what that purpose is, the idea is to care about what people care about. I had 2 people come up to me afterwards with very specific questions. One was on a carpet cleaning business. The other was a man writing a book about a character he invented. And there was a whole spectrum of other questions, but I was fascinated by the carpet cleaning because he apologized for saying, I had the most boring business in the world to talk to you about. And he said, carpet cleaning. I go, it's not boring. How's that possibly boring? What's the story behind those dirty carpets? What's the humor? At what point do you go, I have to call? The insights are there to cut through. Yeah. If your wife is running this business, she's going to know the fun, the release that happens. That's the story to tell on YouTube. That's what you put in the Google reviews on the maps. And when someone looks up for carpet cleaning within 3 miles of your wife's business, they'll find those stories.